My name is Ron Frey, and I am an attorney with the Frey Law Firm. Today, we're going to talk about the question, should I hire a lawyer? If you're wondering if you should hire a criminal defense lawyer, that's often a very strong indication that counsel is needed. Due to a variety of circumstances, people find themselves wondering if they should hire an attorney. And typically, this question arises due to some event that causes a great deal of concern, stress, and anxiety that they might be the subject of a criminal prosecution or investigation by law enforcement. Some of the more common events that trigger the question are things like a knock and talk where law enforcement shows up at your place of business or at your home to try to talk to you. Perhaps your vehicle was pulled over, maybe a search warrant was executed, maybe you were contacted by an investigator or a police officer left their business card with somebody that you know wanting to get a hold of you. Maybe you received a letter from a government agency or a subpoena. Oftentimes, maybe it's the result of a rumor or secondhand information from somebody that somebody's going to file some sort of report against you. Perhaps you actually were arrested and charged, either by way of an indictment, citation, or complaint. Or maybe you suspect that an arrest warrant's outstanding. And if that's the case, obviously action has to be taken. And generally speaking, the sooner the better. The earlier on that an attorney can get involved in a situation, the more effective the representation can be for the client. There's perhaps nothing more frustrating to clients than learning that certain things could have been done or should have been done and now cannot be accomplished due to the passage of time. So whether it's the preservation of evidence, the ability to identify or interview potential witnesses, the opportunity to make strategic decisions that can have a positive impact upon the circumstances going forward, or the opportunity to engage in communication with the government, whether it's the prosecutors or the detectives. The earlier an attorney gets involved in a matter, the more impact they potentially can have with respect to the overall outcome. Oftentimes, the role of the criminal defense lawyer is to act as a buffer between law enforcement and the suspect. So to make sure that you know your rights, to make sure that you know all of your options. So rather than just guessing what should be done, having counsel available there for you to assist you through the process. There's a great deal of discretion within the criminal justice system. And as a case progresses, that discretion tends to lessen. So, a great example would be a person stopped on the side of the road for a speeding violation. The officer on the scene has a ton of discretion. The officer can choose to cite the driver or perhaps give a warning or perhaps just let them go. Well, that's true for cases that are under investigation, even in situations that involve potential felony charges. So both law enforcement and prosecutors have a great deal of discretion as to what charges will be brought, if any at all. So if there's any way to avoid a charge or any steps that can be taken to minimize the exposure, it's imperative that those steps be taken in a timely manner in order to attempt to secure the best possible outcome. And too often, clients come to the firm and indicate that they were subject to a search warrant, sometimes months or years previously, and they weren't arrested or charged at the time of the search warrant and hoped it would simply go away. And then, seemingly out of nowhere, they're indicted or charged with a criminal offense. That time and opportunity between the execution of the search warrant and the filing of the criminal charges can have an impact on the direction of the case. And that time and opportunity is now lost forever. Any opportunity to strategize or communicate with law enforcement or prosecutors, the ability to prepare a defense, prepare mitigation, even prepare for the initial bond hearings is now severely limited due to the passage of time and the urgency of the charge now at hand. So it's important, don't waste that valuable time. Again, if a search warrant has been executed against you, but they don't arrest you, perhaps they come in, execute the search warrant, and they take out data storage devices from your house. And they tell you that they're going to do a forensic examination and they'll get back to you, they don't arrest you. There's plenty of defendants who don't contact counsel at that point. And they just hope it's going to go away. And that's generally a very big mistake, because what happens is, in situations like that, that defendant, when they are charged, they're not prepared for the next steps whatsoever. And the time that's already elapsed and passed where they could have been meeting with their attorney could have been proactive with the prosecution, proactive with the law enforcement officers, the detectives. There could have been a relationship established between the client and the attorney and an understanding as to what the steps in the process may be. That time now is gone. So again, do not waste valuable time. If you feel that you may need a criminal defense lawyer, it really does not make sense to wait to at least make phone calls to start the process. The prudent approach is to contact a criminal defense attorney to discuss the situation and determine what steps can or should be taken. So at the Frey Law Firm, we offer a no-risk free initial consultation to better serve our clients and those seeking representation by a criminal justice attorney. And in anticipation of representation, those communications are confidential. That's always a big concern. And if you contact me, I'll explain the confidentiality provisions with you in greater detail. So instead of wondering whether you should hire an attorney or attempting to research your particular situation on the internet or on YouTube or listening to podcasts, instead, take the prudent step, contact a professional, contact our law firm for a free initial consultation. We will review the circumstances of your case with you and advise as to what possible steps might be warranted. In the event we're unable to take on your case, we'll ensure that we will refer you to other attorneys who might be in a position to assist, or at the very least, refer you to a lawyer referral service. So stop worrying, stop wondering, be proactive, stop guessing, take control of the situation, contact the Frey Law Firm for a free initial consultation. We look forward to speaking with you and look forward to helping you. Thank you.